into the expo and maybe spend a little more money. But it was funny because it's almost like saying like, oh, we want you to spend all this money to then go into the expo and buy even more stuff. The first day was kind of just looking around at stuff because I didn't want to really buy stuff yet. I did, but my dad basically told me like, okay, we'll come back tomorrow and you can buy more stuff then. Like, that's the time to buy stuff. Don't buy it now because you might see something you like and want to come back tomorrow and buy something different. And it's not like what's up, guys? Welcome back to a video. I was putting in today's video. I did say, hope you enjoyed the last episode of you guys about the Boston Marathon preview video. If you guys haven't seen that video, I will link down in the description below. But as we talked about in that video, just an incredible men's and women's race. I mean, as we talked about in that video, the women's race came down to the wire with the Olympic champion and the defending 2021 New York City champion, Perez Jepchirchir, and I think Yashinai, I can't really, some of these names from Kenya and Ethiopia are hard to pronounce. But Yashinai and Jepchirchir battled all the way down to the line for a 3-second difference finish for I think one of the closest finishes in Boston history. In the men's field, complete opposite. Chebet just blew it wide open. I cannot remember his first name. But I mean, Chebet from Kenya, he blew it wide open. It was crazy. I mean, it went from like a 25-man pack or an 18-man pack to a string all the way like a quarter mile down the road. I mean, we saw it dropped the 2019 New York City Marathon champion, and coming into this race, my pick for the favorite, Jeffrey Kamoro. It dropped CJ Albertson, or he had already been dropped, but it dropped him, and it dropped so many other really amazing Kenyan athletes. Berhane Legacy, or no, sorry, not Berhane Legacy, Sise Lema, I mean, so many amazing runners that it's just like, it's crazy that Chebet, last year's defending champion Benson Kipruto, Chebet absolutely blew it wide open. So the women's race, one of the most exciting races you've ever seen. The men's race, not only one of the most exciting, but one of the fastest times you've ever seen. And the Americans on the men's and women's side also had a great showing. Some small little things that we did not expect, especially from Molly Seidel. She was the main thing where she dropped out at 15 miles because of her hip problem. If you guys didn't see those articles, I will link down in the description below if you guys didn't read that. But yeah, so I really do hope you enjoyed that video, and I do hope you enjoyed listening to those guest speakers that I had in that video. My mom and my dad ran an amazing Boston Marathon. Their first ever in-person Boston Marathon. They did do the virtuals, as some of you probably know. They were virtual in 2020, and in 2021, it wasn't virtual, but the field size was downsized by like 10,000, so it was very hard for people to make it. So their first Boston Marathon, they did an amazing job, and me, my sister, my friends, and my family all cheered them on from the sidelines at mile 20, right before Heartbreak Hill. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that. And by the way, if you haven't seen that video, I'll link down in the description below, along with all the articles and all the info about that. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this first block of the intro. And now to intro second block of the intro, the top raised video. So in today's video, as you guys probably saw by the amazingly made thumbnail, yours truly made it, me, and the awesome title in this video, we are going to be talking, discussing, and recapping basically all about the Boston Marathon Expo. Now, the Boston Marathon Expo, I have been to some pretty amazing expos before. The Maine Marathon Expo, an amazing one. I will link that info down in the description below if you guys are thinking about running a fall marathon. The Chicago Marathon Expo, also will link that info down in the description below for Chicago. I have been to so many different expos before, but Boston is one of the best. I think Chicago was the best one. I really do. I shouldn't say that because Boston, since it's quarantine, they still have to make it smaller. But Chicago was just so big. But Boston, as well, the expo was crazy. So when you first, I'll save this for the other blocks, but it was insane. They had booths here, there, and everywhere. They literally had free stuff you could buy, stores. You could spend hours there just perusing shops, spending money and buying stuff, also getting free samples of stuff. There's so much stuff at this expo, and it was so much fun. You got to play games to get free stuff. You got free stuff on its own. We did get a few minor surprises during this, but I will talk about that in the next block. But yeah, so basically this expo was awesome, and we went to it all 3 days of the weekend. So the expo happened on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we went to it all 3 days. So basically, we are going to be having 3 blocks of this video, maybe a 4th one if I want to recap the whole weekend for you, just kind of round it all out. But we'll be talking about each day at the expo. So Friday, we'll be talking about Saturday, then we'll be talking about Sunday. Friday will be probably the longest one. Saturday not so much, and then Sunday will be the shortest one because we already picked up my mom and dad already picked up their numbers and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so we'll be having that Friday, Saturday, Sunday blocks, and then maybe a 4th block, possibly, if I just want to sum it all up for you guys. And yeah, that'll probably do it up for this video. You guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this intro of the video. And now into our first block of the video, recapping how day 1 at the Boston Marathon Expo on Friday went. Guys, in this first block of the video, we're going to be talking or basically discussing and recapping all about the Friday Expo trip. So I think on the left-hand side of your screen, I don't know, I think I remembered, but if I don't remember, you guys should have all the notes that I'm going to talk about in this block. All the notes I talk about in this block should be on the left-hand side of your screen, so you guys can just look at them real quick. You don't have to, but you can just look at them and see what we'll be talking about. So as I talked to you guys about in the last block, this expo was awesome. It had stuff everywhere, but I think when I first walked into the expo, I think I was surprised at how small it actually was. Normally, I expect expos to be a lot bigger because I think I talked about Chicago with you guys. Link for that race down in the description below. That is also a world major marathon. It's a harder race to get into, but not as hard as Boston or New York or some other major marathons. But I think that expo just kind of spoiled it for me. That expo, I am telling you guys, the only thing you could do is you had about this much space in between people to walk. Like, you literally had about as much space to walk as you needed, and anything else, no. I mean, there were booths, literally, there was probably 20 rows deep of booths, and on left and right sides, there was free stuff everywhere. So I think because of the COVID thing and the quarantine, they had to lessen the booths, but it was still a very huge expo, and I think because there was like 2 sides of the expo because there was like a wall splitting down the middle of them. So I don't think I didn't see the second side of the wall, which had all the good stuff on it. But I think at first sight view, I was just surprised because I'm used to having like these gigantic expos with all these booths with like 20 rows deep of booths with free stuff and all that kind of stuff to buy. And Boston just wasn't like that. But before we got to the expo, we had to wait. We had to actually wait in this long line. We did do a little shakeout run at Marathon Sports beforehand. I will talk about more about that. And I think the next video I'm posting for you guys, the experiences that I had this weekend, like all the runs plus the fan fest. Stay tuned for that one. I will also link that video down in the description below when I have it. But yeah, so we had to wait in this long line to get in because obviously with 36 to 40,000 runners, you're going to have a lot of people picking up bib numbers and going to the expo and all that kind of stuff, buying all their sweet, flashy apparel for the race. So we waited in the line, and then we went inside. We got our bags checked because they had to make sure you were okay. Got scanned for metal detectors. I almost felt like I was going through airport security, but a little less died down. But I felt like I was going through airport security, but it's to be considered, as Boston did have the bombings in 2013. I know it's sad to talk about, but I think that's probably why their security had bumped up a little bit. But, I mean, it's good. You don't want anyone bad to be in there. So we got past the security, went up the escalator, and then they had signs saying bib numbers to the right, expo to the left. So we had to go pick up our bib numbers, and they had just, like, different areas for the bib numbers. So I think it was, like, I don't even know, like 0 to 15,000 were over there, and then I think like 15,000 to 36 or 40,000 were were right, and then the 0 to 15 were to the left. I went with my dad, my sister went with my mom. We picked up the bib numbers. It was cool because when you picked up your bib number, they give you like this huge bag full of stuff, and it's pretty cool because I mean it's like you don't get that when you did the virtual. Like when they did the virtual, we got like this tiny box of stuff, and it was fine, but like it's so much different to get like this huge bag because it brings me back to the memories of Chicago where I'm like, okay, it's finally normal again. We finally get to go into an expo. We finally get to get all this free stuff, do all the fun things that the expo has, opposed to the virtual where you just ran the race. There was nothing fun about it because first of all, you didn't run with anyone. Second of all, there was no expo. So it just made everything more exciting to be there and to actually have an expo. So after that, after we picked up the bib numbers, we met my mom, and then we walked into the expo. Once again, so what the funny thing is, Adidas is the main sponsor of the Boston Marathon. If you guys didn't know that, I will link Adidas website down in the description below. If you guys didn't wanted to get that, I will link specifically the Adidas website and specifically the Adidas website, but all the Boston stuff. If you guys want to go check that out, if you guys haven't yet, and want to check out and peruse and maybe get something and buy something off them, they walked you straight through the Adidas store. So basically, the Adidas store was where they were selling all the main apparel. And it was funny because it's basically saying, okay, we want you to automatically spend money before you go into the expo and maybe spend a little more money. But it was funny because it's almost like saying, like, oh, we want you to spend all this money to then go into the expo and buy even more stuff. The first day was kind of just looking around at stuff because I didn't want to really buy stuff yet. I did, but my dad basically told me, like, okay, we'll come back tomorrow and you can buy more stuff then. Like, that's the time to buy stuff. Don't buy it now because you might see something you like and want to come back tomorrow and buy something different. And it's not like we're going to go return stuff because, I mean, you guys know that it's hard enough to return stuff to a working store that's like, has its own store. The Adidas store, it's just like a setup with like cardboard and like racks. Like, it's not that easy to return anything. So we left the Adidas store, and then once we got out of the Adidas store, that's when you got into the big expo area. And I mean, there was tons of stuff. To your right was like all the Boston Marathon show off stuff. Right in front of us was Martin. Martin had a booth set up. I will link them down in the description below. But we basically just walked through the expo. We made some signs for people. People had like signs out. Different booths you made signs. And as we walked through, we kind of walked through, and then we came upon one booth. We saw so much stuff. We saw like, oh, you can get metal racks, you can get metal engravings, or all this kind of stuff. But we came across one booth, and it had I use it every single day. I don't know how, I just forgot that. But it had massage guns, and we tried them out, and eventually we realized, oh, we really like these. And it took us probably like, I think we were there for probably like 20, 25, 30 minutes maybe. But we finally decided to get one, and they were like $125. The company's name is, I think, Jaku. I will link them down in the description below. We got the mini version of it. I will link a picture at the end of the video if you guys would like to see what they look like, but I will also link the website down in the description below if you guys would like to go check them out. But after that, we basically just kept walking through. We did pick up some free stuff. Powdered chocolate milk, another interesting one. We did pick up some of that. We tried some free samples. I mean, it's just like regular chocolate milk, but it's powdered. It's actually by Milkman. I'll link them down in the description below as well. And then we get to the part where it was a little bit, it was different. I don't think we were expecting it because it was just me and my dad by ourselves. We were there for about 10 minutes at this one booth, and this guy who was nice, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, you can't keep us here for this long. He was giving us like it was something like that pumped oxygen into your blood. I don't really understand why he was trying to sell us this because it didn't really make much sense to me. I don't really understand like what it even did. It was like $1,000, and by that point, I think we hadn't bought the massage gun by that point. I'm just kind of going in order of the booths. But we were like, no, like we don't want it. We didn't say that directly to the guy, but like we're like, no, we don't want this. Like in the massage gun is so much more useful. It's like something you stick on your neck and it like pumps oxygen into your cells, and it has like a wireless remote, which you would lose in like 5 minutes. He said he would cut us a deal of, you guys won't believe this, $500. And mind you, the massage gun cost $120. So he was cutting us a deal of $500 or $120, and the massage gun would work 10,000 times better than that thing that pushed oxygen to your vessels ever, or cells ever was. So that, I mean, he was a nice guy. That was kind of a little shocker. I know it wasn't as much of a shocker as you guys were thinking, but that was the shocker here. I wasn't really expecting that because I wasn't expecting someone to pull us aside. I really don't think it's a great product because he had to sell it so bad to us, but I mean, you know what? You got to do what you got to do to sell your products, right? And after we got out, finally, thank God, after like 10, 15 minutes of listening to him just babble on about all this stuff, oh my God, we finally got out of there, and we looked at a few more booths. There was like this multivitamin booth. I did go over, take a few. I was afraid they were going to yell at me for taking too many, because when I go to these expos, sadly to say, I try to basically smuggle everything out of everyone. I mean, who can blame you, right? It's an expo. You're getting all free stuff. I mean, it's free stuff, so I'm not stealing. I'm I'm just taking it. But yeah, so I was afraid that people were going to yell at me because I was taking so much stuff. Luckily I didn't get yelled at till like the final day, I think, on that one. But I did take a few multivitamins. They did taste a lot like Starburst, which was kind of nice. They didn't taste like the disgusting ones that normally you get at like the pharmacy, CVS, and all that kind of stuff. I will link that website down in the description below if I can remember their name. I think it was like gummies. I think it was like vitamin for kids or something like that. I don't even know. They did sell adult vitamins too, but I have no idea. And then we went over and we looked at some running boosts. Like Brooks had a boost set up. Asics had a boost set up. We did look inside there. The shoes and clothes were super expensive in there. I'm surprised Tracksmith didn't have a boost set up. I will link Tracksmith down in the description below since I mentioned them, but I was surprised they didn't have a boost set up. But I mean, you know, it's hard to get a boost set up in the Boston Expo because you probably have to pay them and everything. So, and then we went over and got some other free stuff. So we went over to this place called Noom, which is a hydration company. Link down in the description below for their website. And we got like a half cup of Noom, and I was so shocked because I'm like, you guys are giving out this much? Like, who's gonna drink this? Like, nobody here is gonna work out at the expo. Like, this doesn't make any sense. I don't really understand why they gave us an entire half cup. I mean, nice gesture, but like, I don't understand why you gave us an entire half cup. We left Noom. Although the cup was nice that they gave us, it was a reusable cup. So we did have to sign up for their rewards program though, which took a little while. But we walked by, we saw that like goo gels, they're like sugary gels to help you get through the marathon. They're kind of like Martin. I will link them down in the description below along with Martin. But yeah, so that was fun. We didn't buy anything there. They didn't have any free samples. We went by this chip place. We got some chips from there. We went by and looked at these like socks. My mom bought some socks. And then for the games that we played, we did play some games with I played a game where like it was like a premier golf game or something. So if you made it in the hole, you got like a handkerchief or whatever. And first try, I actually made it in the hole. I patted myself on the back for that one. I'm proud of that. But yeah, so it was just a fun game. It was just a fun way to play golf, and it was like a mini golf course. It was just like probably like a 6-inch long thin green and like a 6-inch wide, or like a 12-foot, like a 6-foot wide green. Yeah, so it was fun. We did hear Meb talking. We didn't actually stay for him to talk, but we heard him talking. And then after that, we kind of just walked around a little more. Didn't really do much more than that. I kind of basically summed it up for you guys the whole Saturday day, and then we kind of basically just left. And yeah, so we left with all our free stuff, and went to go. And before we left, we did go get some more free stuff. The Milkman chocolate milk, I will link down in the description below. We went to go get some more of that. The multivitamins, I got to go get some more of that. We did go back to the booth one more time, the massage gun booth. We left it first, and then we went back, and that's when we bought everything. So yeah, that's basically gonna sum it up for that. After that, we left, and we went to find some lunch for ourselves because it was probably about 2 p.m. at that point. You guys, so that's probably gonna do it up for this first block of the video, and now let's move into our second block of the video, recapping our Saturday Expo experience. Guys, the second block of the video, we're going to be kind of just talking, recapping, and discussing all about the Saturday Expo experience. So as I told you guys in the last block, I will be linking all the notes on the left-hand side of your screen. You should see them for you guys. I will link them there just for reference. I didn't really use the notes much in the last block, so I don't think I need to link them. But since I linked them in the last block, I'm just going to link them in all the blocks because, you know, if you guys want reference of kind of what we're going to be talking about at the Expo, and if you guys would like to notify me about anything else that you want me to talk about, you can shoot me a comment down in the live chat. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I actually haven't checked my live chat in a while. I should probably do that soon. But on to Saturday's Expo experience. So once again, as I told you guys in the last block, in the Friday Expo block, we did have to wait in the long line again. By that point, we had actually already on the BAA 5K, which I think was one of the last videos. I think it was like 2 videos ago. I will link that one down. I will link the BAA 5K recap down in the description below. But I had run that 5K already, and it was not very enjoyable to stand in the line. Luckily, it did move quick. Normally, when you stand in Expo lines, they move at like 2 miles an hour. Like, I could literally jog like up and down the street probably like 10 times, and the line still wouldn't be moving. Luckily, the Boston Expo line, we probably got in there in like 10-15 minutes, which I was very surprised about, considering that normal Expo lines are like 25 miles long, and so, they're just like a billion miles long, and I don't even know how they move. But luckily, so the Boston Expo line did wrap around a lot more than Friday. I get it. Friday, people were probably working and doing all that stuff. Most people didn't have the day off on Friday. Saturday was the real day where everyone came in and got all their stuff. Although Saturday was not the most eventful day for us, only because we had come Friday. But we got in, we got our stuff checked, we got our bags checked once again just to make sure nothing bad was in them and no metal and all that kind of stuff. Went up the escalator. I think the escalator is so much fun for me to ride, especially after races, because it kind of like saves the legs from going down and upstairs. Because after races, if you guys know, I mean, after 5K especially, but after marathon or anything longer than 5K especially, your legs aren't really up to going up and down stairs, especially down the stairs, because they tend to stumble a lot. But the upstairs can hurt even. I don't know why, but stairs can just hurt so much after races, and the escalator kind of saves them from that. So once again, they had the thing where bib numbers to the right, Expo to the left. We're not getting bib numbers, so we just went to the left and went to the Expo. We walked in, and once again, they walked you straight into the Adidas store, which yesterday was not the greatest thing, although we did get to look at some stuff. But Saturday, today, back when that Saturday happened, I think it was like 2 weeks ago for you guys, whenever I'm posting. Filming this, it was like a week out, but posting, I don't know when it's posting for you guys, but they did walk you straight into the Adidas store, but we did get to buy some stuff today. So I think we bought, I bought a backpack, actually the backpack in my background, which I will link a photo of at the end of the video. I will link a photo of all my stuff I bought at the end of the video, but the backpack that you guys see in the background, that has the Boston Marathon logo on it, so we bought that there for 2022. I also bought a coffee mug, which you guys are probably thinking, Michael, you don't drink coffee. It might sound weird, but when I drink chocolate milk in the morning, every morning, because my bobo and my chocolate milk, obviously, you guys hear about it every single race. I always tell you guys. But my bobo and my chocolate milk, I've actually, for the past, probably, when I'm filming this for you guys, probably for the past week, I've actually been drinking out of a coffee mug, which you guys might think is crazy, but, I mean, I like it. So, yeah. We went up, we actually, had taken a family picture, actually, before we went up. There was like a picture booth or something. We gathered my mom and my sister. We took that family picture. They printed it for us. They sent us like our email. No, they sent it to our emails or something. And I think we could print them on our own. And then we went in line to pay. Luckily, we were actually able to slip under the line because nobody else was really paying attention to when they were getting ringed up. So actually, we were probably halfway down the line. We were probably all the way at the halfway down the line, and we actually got to slip through the line and get into the paying area faster, or with the checkout area faster, which was actually really nice because, I mean, those Expo lines, if any of you, whether kid or adult, have ever stood in an Expo line to buy merchandise, you guys know that those lines can back up for miles. And thank God we got there early, because otherwise we probably would have been waiting in that line for like an hour. But after we got out of that line, once again, giant experience. It's so crazy to me because I had come the day before, but it just blows my mind how big the Expo actually was. Once again, I think Chicago just kind of spoiled it for me. I think I was expecting every single Expo to be like Chicago, although I shouldn't, because not every Expo is like the major city marathon expos. But Boston Expo, once again, it was just crazy to me how big it was. But we kind of just perused a little bit. We did go over and check out some of the stuff on display for Boston. It was like past winners medals. Actually, Des Linden, I will link her 2018 Boston Marathon photo down in the description below. Her jacket with her number on it had actually been donated. I think Bill Rogers' shoes, who I will also link down in the description below if I can find videos on him. He actually wore shoes that were like literally bricks. Like, if I can find a photo of you guys, I will link it at the end of the video, or I will link it at the end of the video. His shoes were literally like bricks. Like, I'm talking like the shoes you guys are probably wearing right now as watching this video is probably like like that high. His shoes for the marathon were literally like that high. So most of you probably own track spikes, not even this high, like this high. So most of you probably own track spikes that are much, much thicker than that. I mean, I own the Dragonflies and the Victories that are like, I don't know, 10 centimeters thicker than that, which is crazy that track spikes now are thicker than that. Just crazy to think how much faster could he have gone with if he had track spikes, or if he had marathon shoes that were at least that thick. Never mind the shoes we have today with the Alpha Fly that are like that thick. So it's just crazy how much time changes shoes and all the technology. But we looked at that. We once again made some signs for people. We made some signs. We did look around more. We did go back to that Milkman shop thing. I will link that website down in the description below. That chocolate milk is so good. I did try it out actually at the time I'm filming this for you guys. I am on school vacation. It is the last day of school vacation when I'm filming this for you guys, so I'm kind of sad about that. But I did try it out because we didn't have my regular chocolate milk Fairlife. Link that down in the description below as well. I will also be linking Fairlife down in the description below as well. We didn't have any more Fairlife chocolate milk, which I was sad about, but the Milkman stuff really did do a really, really nice job of kind of just replacing the Fairlife and making it just a little bit better, so I actually had my chocolate milk. Once again, today we did go by the massage booth again. We did peruse a few more booths. When we actually went by the booth that I told you guys that basically like harassed us yesterday, not really, but like in theory, like harassed us and kept us there so long. I actually like, okay, we have to like go fast past this booth because otherwise I don't want to get stopped for 15 minutes again, getting lectured all about this device because we're not going to buy it. So luckily we made it out of that booth without having any problems and getting stopped for it. But we went back to the multivitamins booth. We didn't go back to most of the booths we went back to yesterday, only because like we didn't go back to the Noom booth, only because it was, we had already got it. We did not go back to like the sock store or the game because we already had done it. I don't think they had any talks that day, or if they did, we didn't see any. But we did check out more about the Asics and Hoka stores, and all kind of the shoe stores over there. That was the really interesting thing. We did check out Asics mostly because they had the Metaspeed Skies, which I will link down in the description below, their website. I will link the Metaspeed Skies specifically also. I will link to them down in the description below if I can fit all this in the description, if it's not too long. But yeah, so we checked them out. But the problem is, the Metaspeed Skies are like $250. And if you guys remember, the Vaporflies from Nike, which in my opinion are, no offense, Asics shoes are very good. They are very much top class, but I just think Nike's Vaporflies for $250 are 10,000 times better than Asics Metaspeed Skies. Nothing against Asics, but I just think that Nike's way more worth it. The price for shoes these days are insane. So yeah, we did go by that chip booth again, got some more chips. We did go by some other booths again. We went by that multivitamin booth. I don't know if I already mentioned it in this block, but we went by them again. And then we went back to the Milkman booth to grab some extra stuff, only because we loved that Milkman chocolate milk and really loved it a ton, that we were hoping they would forget who we were. But they never said it to us, but I think by I will talk about this in the next block, but I think by Sunday, I think they were probably like, oh my god, who are these people stealing all our chocolate milk? And it's just funny because they were probably like, oh my god, these people have been here like 10 times today. What do they want from us? But yeah, so basically we just finished up all that. We checked out the Skechers store a little bit, a few other stores, and then we just finished up what we had to do. We went out to the expo, and we found something to eat for lunch because we were starving. You guys, that's probably going to do it up for this second block of the video, and now let's go into our third block of the video, recapping our Sunday Boston Marathon Expo experience. Guys, in the third block of the video, we're going to be kind of just recapping, discussing, and just talking all about our Sunday 2022 Boston Marathon Expo experience. So before we get into the Sunday Boston Marathon Expo experience, or just recapping the Sunday experience at the Boston Marathon 2022 Expo, I would just like to say I am sorry that I wanted to mention one thing. I can't remember. I think it was in the Friday block, but it could have been in the Saturday block. I actually, Dave McGillivray, if you guys have heard of him, which you probably have, because He is the Boston Marathon Expo. No, sorry, not Expo. He is the Boston Marathon director of the entire race. So he's the one who actually runs the race, puts on this amazing race every single year. I will link, but he actually has written, I think 4 or 5 books now, maybe even more than that. I will link all his books down in the description below. But actually, the woman who wrote his books with him actually works at my school, the Abbott School in Westford, Massachusetts. And we actually got to see her. I actually introduced myself. I can't remember her name right now, but I actually introduced myself, and I don't think she knew me really well, only because I didn't, like, she's a reading teacher, so I don't really work with her that much. I don't really see her that much, but I don't think she really recognized me. But I went up to her, introduced myself, told her I was from Abbott, and we also got some squishy balls and some different things from her as well, some bookmarks. But yeah, so that was fun, and I am sorry if I cannot get everything from the expo in. It is hard to remember all the stuff that we did because there was just so much stuff, so it is really hard to remember, but I am trying to include everything I possibly can. So on to the Sunday expo experience. So I think on Sunday, I can't really remember quite right now, but I don't think we had to wait in a line at all, and if we did have to wait in a line, it wasn't that long of a line. I mean, Sunday by that point, most people are probably resting up for the race on Monday, because the race by that point, by the time I'm filming this for you guys, the race at that point was the next day. So people, I'm guessing, had probably gone Saturday, they'd probably gone Friday, and they had just kind of gone home to relax on Sunday, because as a marathoner, you need to conserve as much energy as possible. So you're probably not going to go to the expo Sunday, which is why, if you're going there for the free stuff, it's not good, because there's nothing left for the free stuff. But if you're just going to pick up your number, Sunday is definitely the best day to do it because there's absolutely no one there. So we did wait in the line. We got checked. We went up the escalator. By that point, my legs weren't really feeling too much from the day before, but it was still nice to ride the escalator because it's fun to just let the escalator move you up. I don't know why I love it so much, but I just do. Again, they said bid numbers to the right, expo to the left. We went to the left because we were just going to the expo. And what was cool is I don't think we ever noticed this before, but for the last 2 days, because I think we were in such a rush to get everything else done, get all the free stuff and buy everything, that I don't think we noticed that there was an entire wall with names on it. And everyone who ran the Boston Marathon or who was running the Boston Marathon for 2022 was on that wall. So what was cool is we actually found my mom and dad's name, and we actually took pictures of them pointing to their names, which was pretty cool because, I mean, you don't normally get to see your name atop a board with 36,000 other names on it that says that basically signifies like you're in Boston Marathon history, you're running the Boston Marathon. So I mean, it's just crazy that like we actually found their names. First of all, because there was like 36,000 names on the board, and their names were like, I don't know, like that thin, and you basically could not find your name unless you looked like as hard as you possibly can. I mean, even when I zoomed in with the camera, it didn't even seem that big with both names. But yeah, so we got their names, we got them pictures with their names, and then we just walked straight through the Adidas store. We didn't buy anything today, only because there really was nothing else to buy, because we had already gotten all our stuff. We walked into the expo, and not to say it was dead, but the last 2 days it had been pretty packed. I mean, I'm talking Friday and Saturday, it had been really packed. And today, well, there was like nobody there. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, you could have walked through that expo for hours and you would not have to worry about anyone else getting in your way because there was no one else there. I mean, it's understandable because the marathon was the next day, but it was kind of nice to walk through the expo and like see all this stuff and be like, oh, okay, so there's no one here. But yeah, so we did walk through the expo. We walked through the expo to get some more free stuff. Once again, we really wanted to try to dodge that booth with the electronic oxygen cells push-in thing. I still don't know why they were trying to sell that to people. It wasn't selling. I mean, maybe a few people bought it, but not many. But yeah, so we did that. We walked by the Milkman booth once again. They actually, I think the Milkman, they had free samples, but they actually didn't have any more packages of chocolate milk, so they actually gave away the packages of chocolate milk. They didn't have any more packages of chocolate milk, but they had coupons for like 20% off. And me and my dad actually said after we left the booth, we're probably the reason they don't have any more chocolate milk. If Milkman's watching this video, I'm so sorry. I think we're probably the reason you had no more chocolate milk on that day. because of the fact that we probably have 30 of them lying in our kitchen cabinet right now. But it's just so good. Once again, go check out their website down in the description below. It is such good chocolate milk. So we did pick up some chocolate milk. We picked up some of the multivitamins. And then after that, we kind of walked back. I wanted to, as you guys know, I do wear a ton of bracelets. I think at that point I had 7 on. And I didn't get one from New York at Indoor Nationals. I will link that video down in the description below if you guys have not seen that, Junior Olympic Internationals. But I wanted one from Boston, and we actually found a booth that had, I think they had bracelets, the silicone bracelets. They had 3 left that said Boston 2022, and it was so cool because I finally had they said Run Boston 26.2, and it was so cool because I finally had a bracelet that represented that I have been to the Boston Marathon Expo. I witnessed everything from the Boston Marathon, and yeah, it was just really fun. After that, we just walked through a few more booths. Not that many, though. We didn't really do much more. We walked past the other booth, the books booth again with the teacher I know at my school, or not know, but works at my school. We did get some more squishy balls and bookmarks. And then basically after that, we kind of just finished up what we were doing. And then we kind of left the expo because at that point, there really was nothing else to do. So we kind of just checked out a few more things, took a few more pictures, took our last minute pictures before the race tomorrow because the expo closed today. So basically we finished up, walked around the expo, finished up looking at all the booths. We left the expo and we basically left and went back home because we were going back home before the expo. Guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this third block of the video. And now we'll into our first block of the video, just kind of summing up basically the 3 days of the expo and how it was an amazing experience. Alright guys, this fourth and final block of the video, we're going to be basically summing up, recapping, and just discussing and recapping all about my experiences over the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the 2022 Boston Marathon Expo. So before we say anything else, before we say any more details or any different things about the expo, I would just like to say this expo was amazing. You basically just heard me recap all about this stuff. There was free booths left and right. There was apparel stores left and right. There was free stuff left and right. There were mini games that you could play. There were free samples. There were talks. It was so crazy because the expo, I hadn't been to a major city marathon expo in over 3 years. And finally, after being back at one, I realized these expos, I wish every single race was like this. This is the problem. I don't get these very often because we don't normally run these races that often. So it's fun to just go to the expo and see, oh, okay, so this is what a major city marathon expo feels like. It's crazy from going from a regular race expo to then going to this is regular race expo. This is major city marathon expo. It's so crazy the difference between them because of the fact that the size difference, the amount of free stuff difference, the experience difference, and how fun it is so much different. So it is so much different and so much more fun to go to these big expos and see all this cool past stuff, such as the Boston stuff that was on display. Again, Des Linden's 2018 gear, Bill Rogers' not even 20, but Bill Rogers 1970, mid-1970s to early 1970s gear. Once again, videos of that down in the description below. So it was just so crazy to watch and witness all this stuff happening at once, and it was just so crazy to go to this expo. Once again, I loved all the stuff that we bought, the backpack, the coffee mug. Again, the massager was definitely the most favorite thing we got. So I loved all that. I will be linking all that stuff down in the description below, the websites for that. I also loved all the free stuff we got from Milkman, from the book booth. I don't think I can link a website for that, but if I can find a website, I will. The multivitamins, the Noom, all the stuff that we got, the games, and so it was so much fun. Speaking of games, the games we played, it was so much fun to just play those mini games. It was really fun, and we got some free prizes for them, so that was kind of nice. And then so that's probably gonna wrap it up for this block. Actually. Once again, this expo was so much fun. I had so much fun this weekend or last weekend when I'm filming this for you guys, going to the Boston Marathon 2022 Expo and realizing like this is so much fun, and I really, really, really do hope to do it again in 2023 or somewhere beyond that. You guys, that's probably going to do it up for this fourth and final block of the video, and that's probably going to wrap it up for today's video. Alright guys, and I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I really do hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about my experiences and all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Boston Marathon Expo. Once again, this expo had it all. I mean, I'm talking the free stuff, the stuff to buy, everything that you could possibly want in a good expo. This expo, Boston Marathon Expo, had. It had the free stuff, it had the talks, it had the games, it had the stuff to buy. And it had engagement. You could engage in all the things. It was just so much fun because it had the hands-on stuff, but it also had the stuff that you could look at, such as the old Boston gear, which I can find videos of. I will link down in the description below, the ones I mentioned today. But there was so much Boston gear, and there was so much fun pictures to take as well. This Boston Marathon Expo was just an amazing, amazing, amazing experience. I really loved doing it, and I really do hope I get in the near future to do it again, maybe next year, or maybe sometime in the near future, go to this expo and witness all this amazing, amazing hands-on stuff and free stuff and stuff to buy again. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video for obviously the running videos gone wrong, but also the photos that we have from the expo. Maybe I can find a few videos we have from the expo, all the pictures that we have of all the free stuff and the stuff we bought. The pictures will just be one huge block together. I probably have a ton of pictures from all 3 days of the expo, so make sure you stick around for all that and all the stuff we bought, like the backpack in my background, my massage gun, and so much more. I will also be linking at the end of the video, so make sure you guys stick around for all that. You guys, that's probably going to do it up for that. And that's probably going to wrap it up for today's video. I mean, I really do hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys check out all the links in the description. I had so much fun looking, seeing, and buying all this stuff. Once again, there were some mishaps, but there was also all the fun stuff that happened, the hands-on, and the glass looking at. You get to take a lot of cool pictures. They would take a lot of cool pictures for you. You buy a lot of cool stuff. And, so I had a lot of fun with it, and I really do hope to get to do it again in the near future. And make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video and go check out all the stuff down in the description. You guys, hope you enjoyed that. Stick around in this quote, and you guys are going to love it. Once again, I might try to make it about a former Boston Marathon champion. Maybe not Bill Rogers, because I already have done one about him. Maybe, but then I can also do Des Linden. I could do Perez Cheer actually, because she won Boston already. So maybe I'll do one of the former Boston Marathon champions. You guys just have to stick around for that. You guys, hope you enjoyed that. Stick around today's quote, and you guys are going to love it. Once again, Boston Marathon champion, hopefully, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have fun, always run, enjoy life. Hopefully I can do this once again in the near future. I loved it so much, and peace out, guys.
I do want to thank you so much for that. We give a big round of applause. But with a mile to go, your lead was shortening with each and every stride. What was going through your mind with that, a mile to go, with a half a mile to go? What were you thinking?
So I was in the zone. I know there's going to be a mile to go to come, but I was so much in the zone, I don't remember going to Wesley at halfway point. I was trying to look at my watch, if I'm going out of pace or whatnot. But having done the Boston Marathon, how many of you guys have done the Boston Marathon? Yeah! It helps to know and be patient. And so I didn't know this, but I guess I got a minute and 15-second lead, and then get it down. And I had a big vision in my mind. It came down to Boston. So with about 18 miles, people doing the waves, USA, USA. I'm like, USA. Concentrate on the race, concentrate on the race, I'll do that later. And then you're always looking for the Cisco sign. You couldn't come fast enough. So once I get there, 5K to go actually was the first time I saw somebody with an orange shirt that was behind me. I said, uh-oh, I led the whole way now, he's gonna try to catch me. So 3 games to mind. Try to slow down and save your energy for this street. I said, if you catch up to me, you get have the mental age. So that plan has to be now. We're going to be waiting. So second plan was trying to maintain the gap and trying to extend the gap. So mile 24, there's a picture of me. I felt like throwing up. I was pushing my bike so hard, but I couldn't say to the side and throw. So I have to push holding myself. I was like this. Check it in. Hey, come on, it's the Boston Championship here. And then with a mile to go, it got really narrow. So I was looking back. You haven't seen the video yet. Go and look at it. I was looking back a lot, but I was trying to gauge, see if that space getting shrinking or getting larger. And then I just thinking, nah, he must be hurting, because if he was feeling good, he wouldn't be here right now with me. So he's hurting. I'm willing to hurt a little bit more. And then there was a 1K sign. I said, we in America like to go by miles. Why is that 1K there? They're gonna take 3 minutes of pain, 3 minutes of pain. Well, 3 minute pain for you too. So mechanic is important. All the small things that you guys do, sometimes you're like, why am I stretching? Why am I doing the drills? It comes in handy. And I think for me, the angels of the victims, the small little things that I've been doing over the years played a big way. So form, over the pass, where there was a wrong thing, just lean forward, gravity, and then up over the pass, short stride. Now there's a final turn on upper, first turn, Boston is point to point, and I said, now my finish line is getting to Boston. It's not here, but getting to Boston. Sprint as hard as he can. By the time he turns, make the gap look bigger. Hopefully he will get discouraged. So that's what I did, and then coming to Boston, I just, like I said, I trust myself, and I said, God, give me the strength, the energy of the people. It was, I mean, hard to describe in words, but it was a thrill of a lifetime. Electrifying energy, and people just, this was crowded and deep, and what an honor it is to be able to be an American and win it in 31 years first American.
First-time Boston Marathoners in this crowd.
We thought about dropping out. As the event went on, as the race went on, the race started to suck a little bit less, as you said. But at what point were you like, well, something kind of cool cooking?
I'm pretty sure it was halfway through Boyle Street. The suck was high level of suck for most of it, but I think about halfway through it was moderate rain, it was moderate low level, and everything just started showing that it just felt like our year, and I was very determined to help out and chip into that effort to get an American win, and in the process I just started competing and feeling all of a sudden like maybe it was my day, I got my rhythm, and it all turned into a positive mindset, and then passing people was really great. So I did that all the way to the state.
Yeah, you put some energy as you training and all on this course recently come to it?
No, so I was supposed to come out about a month ago and run the course. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out in my build-up, but I literally live probably about a mile from here one Segway. So every day I would just go right out to there, that course, go straight down and back, or start welding and come back up. So I am seeing so much of this course. I have so many miles on it. I'm very different racing on it, but I'm pretty excited. I know there's going to be a lot of that.
guys, in this third block of the video, we're going to be talking about, or kind of just recapping and discussing, our Sunday Boston Marathon 2022 Expo experience. So this experience went at the 2022 Boston Marathon Expo. So before we get into anything, I would just like to say, thank you for... Alright guys, in this fourth and final block of the video, we're going to be basically summing up, all the Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the video. As for today's video, I would say, I hope you enjoyed the last few episodes of you guys. Alright, let's check how the volume works here.